Welcome back to the second half here at the Ormeyer Stadium on the campus of the University of Laverne in the SCIAC football matchup on LVTV3 Laverne Community Television. Start of the third quarter here with University of Redlands leading the University of Laverne by a score of 22-14. I'm Joseph Orozco alongside my broadcast partner, Al Hargrave. We have an exciting second half coming up for you. The first half was loaded with a bunch of action. Redlands jumped out to a quick 22-0 lead by the end of the first quarter, but Laverne clawed their way back, answered 14 unanswered points in their own, and they have a chance to cut into this lead again and possibly even tie the game as they get the ball to start off the second half.
Yeah, but one thing to keep an eye on, Joseph, is the health of that of Josh Evans. We saw him take a tough hit there in the first half on a pitch play. We saw Zach Tomlinson come in at the end of the first half. We'll see if they just wanted to give Evans a few moments, and we'll see how he fares if he comes out in the first series of the second half.
Yeah, on that second touchdown possession for Laverne, Evans was nicked up with helmet-to-helmet contact with the Redlands defender. He stayed to finish off that drive, but he definitely was banged up on that play. We'll see if he starts off the second half here for Laverne. Maybe that possession at the end of the first half was just to give Evans a breather and have Tomlinson take over just to end the half. But Laverne will receive this second half kickoff. They'll be going from your screen right to left. See a nice crowd gathered on hand here for this SCIAC football matchup, Laverne's home conference opener for 2016. Redlands to kick off to Laverne, number 83. To kick off for Redlands, Kyle Kayberry.
Kicking off.
Back to return deep is Ezra Brodas for Laverne to go along with Grayson Klein. Kickoff deep to the end zone will be Brodas, but he will just take a knee about 6 yards deep into the end zone for a touchback, and the Leopards will take over at around the 25-yard line, it seems. And coming out to start off this half, can't tell from this angle, it will be Tomlinson under center for the Leopards.
So I think that more or less answers a question for us, Joseph. But you got to be worried about the health of Josh Evans moving forward if you are Laverne. But that's neither here nor there. You got to place your eyes on right now.
You got to imagine with Evans being out, Redlands will target the running game even more for defense and try to stop Parent as the running back. As I see majority of the plays go to both him and Fernandez in the second half with Evans being out. But don't underestimate the arm of Tomlinson here. He has experience, especially from last year. So Laverne first and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Handed off to Parent. Parent tries to find some room up the right side. However, he gets gobbled up and gets forced in the backfield for a loss on the play. It seems like loss of about 2 yards on the play. It'll be second and 12 coming up.
Quite honestly, though, Joseph, they've got to keep feeding Parent the ball. That's their guy. They've ride or died by him all season long, and you've got to just anticipate he's going to break a big one here soon.
Second and 12 for Laverne. Ball on the 23-yard line. Start of the second half. Be a quick pass out. This time be for Ariano. Trying to make something happen. Tries to turn the corner. Getting himself a nice little truck stick there. Forced out of bounds. It'll be third and long coming up. They're in about 8 yards to go for Laverne.
8 yards to go, and now you're going to see Tomlinson drop back to pass, possibly something across the middle. See if he opts to go to Brandon Long or one of his other targets we saw in the first half.
Tomlinson looks to his left, now looks to his right, scrambles out of the pocket, forces it down the sideline, looking for Parent on the right side. However, Parent wasn't ready for it. Ball was behind them. Quick 3 and out for Laverne, and here comes the punt team. And the Redlands has a nice stop, so Laverne had an opportunity to cut into this lead, possibly even tie the game here. But a great job by Redlands forcing a 3 and out and the punt.
Not to mention great field position, Joseph, because this is only going to get a punt really down inside maybe the 30 at best. So you've got to get a good kickoff here if you're Boucher.
Boucher, the opponent, we have two returners. We have Underghetto for Redlands. Back to return to go along with number 36, I believe, for Redlands. It will be Underghetto here, taking it inside the 30. That is flag on the play. Could be blocking the back.
Looked like a block
against
in the back there on
Redlands.
26.
Blocking the back there on number 26. Could be against Zach Archer for Redlands. We'll wait the call from the official.
Number 26. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Zach Archer will be the one credited for that penalty against Redlands. So they will have to start deeper in their own territory than expected. Ball is being placed at around the 27-yard line, actually 25-yard line of Redlands. So they have to go 75 yards, just as good as a touchback. So favorable penalty for Laverne knocks back Redlands. So Redlands have to go 75 yards for a score, to see how the Laverne defense responds after the halftime break. Kid at quarterback, number 12 for Redlands. Handed off to his running back. Appleton on the play gets about 4 yards, maybe 5. Might be 2nd and 6 coming up for Redlands. To it, they're being credited with this tackle there.
Good to see Truitt come up and fill a gap there. See if they read run again. Two backs.
Fake handoff to Underghetto, and he just passed it to his right to Blackburn. Blackburn gets the catch, and he gets forced out of bounds near the first down marker. It'll be interesting where they got him. They ran him right at the 35, and that'll be good enough for a Redlands first down. Redlands running no huddle again. Looks like they're just going to offense here with Kidd. Seems to be pretty transparent with either hand it off to the running back or just pass it underneath in holes of this Laverne zone. Here's the back end. Kidd there is going to be stuffed in the backfield by number 55 of the Leopards. Tackle for the Blas, and there's Austin Brown again with the second sack on the season.
Austin Brown, a guy that can come up and shoot the gap. Saw him get a tackle for a loss in the first half, and one of the key playmakers on this Laverne defense. He's got to get after it here on second down and put him in 3rd and long.
2nd and 13 to go here for Redlands. As you see, Kidd was not ready for Brown here. Brown just comes up from behind and just brings him down. Pass underneath. It's completed to the Redlands receiver. That is number 83 on the play. Kyle Caberry, the leading receiver for Redlands, has a nice gain of about 20 yards on the play. Be first down for the Bulldogs.
Caberry there, that's his first reception of the day, Joseph.
Confusion underneath. Potentially a free play. Pass over the top. It's completed, and we have another flag. Could be personal foul penalty against Laverne. It is a touch completed. A lot of chaos happening on this play. Can't tell what the end result is. Laverne may have jumped offside. Could have been a false start penalty against Redlands as well. Be interesting what the officials call on this play.
Penalty decline. We have personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 95. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So big completion and then some yardage there. Nice job from Kidd to take a big hit there. Got credited with the penalty. See, Laverne jumped off sides. Kidd getting the bad snap and completing it to his receiver downfield. That was Blackburn with the catch. And they're knocking on the door. Redlands is inside the Laverne 5-yard line.
Blackburn, one of those many weapons that Redlands can go to in crunch time.
Kidd now lined up under the center. Power formation here. Power I formation for Redlands near the goal line. Be fake handoff. Pass it down the middle of the field and wide open finds his intended receiver on the player. It's a big man there in the end zone, number 92, it looks like.
Tight end freshman, 6'3" out of 210. That's Blake Roy.
Blake Roy getting the touchdown on the play. He was wide open down the middle of the field. Kids just found him, and he just almost just tossed him like a regular throw in the backyard. And he makes it a two-possession game once again for Redlands. Rail here to attempt the extra point. He missed the field goal attempt just before the half ended. That could have extended Redlands' lead. He hits the extra point attempt that time, and so with 11 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the third quarter, the score, University of Redlands 29, University of Laverne 14. You're watching Skyac football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. So the Redlands offense, they're making plays and taking advantage of Laverne mistakes, Laverne penalties, and they make it a two-touchdown game once again.
Penalties have hurt Laverne all game long. It's their 7th penalty of the game, only that time, Joseph. Hurt them big.
So Redlands here to kick off from their own 35-yard line. Laverne needs a score here to get back into this game. Had some momentum towards the end of the first half. Stalled after Thompson threw that interception. Laverne was ready momentum big, scoring 14 unanswered points and stopping Redlands, forcing them to miss the field goal to cut the lead to 8. But the Redlands defense doesn't panic. Defense steps up big, and their offense did the work in their last series. To get a short kick here, just taken and recovered, not even a chance to return by Laverne there. Number 54, Alexander Martinez, the linebacker on special teams, recovering that kick for the Leopards.
Smart job by the linebacker there, Martinez, to just go and pounce on that ball. It goes past 10 yards. Redlands can jump on it, so Martinez there opting, okay, well, I haven't really gotten a chance to return some kicks previously. I should just down this thing, take the field position.
So Laverne will take over at around their own 30-yard line. Ball being marked at 28. Bat snap. Great job by Tomlinson to recover it, but he takes a sack in the backfield, so not a great start to this series as well. He's second and down, about 13 yards to go for Laverne. Tomlinson took a big hit. Nice job by him to keep his composure and gather the ball after that bad snap, but he still takes a sack for a loss. Second and 13. Handed off to the running back. It looks to be Fernandez, the big fullback on the play. Again, a nice chunk of yardage right there. Gain of about 8 yards on the play. Be third and manageable. 3rd and 6 coming up for Laverne. Fernandez finding some room down the middle of the field there, avoiding some tacklers and pushing the issue. Setting up 3rd and 5. Thompson lined up in the shotgun. Fake handoff. Actually does give it off to his fullback, but nothing doing there.
Fernandez broke free for just a brief second. Thought maybe he'd bust one loose, but ended up going back for loss of yardage.
That is number 33 on the stop for Redlands. That's number 33, Nick Castro, the linebacker, forcing a 3 and out for Laverne. So Tomlinson not creating much opportunity, much like Evans was earlier in the game for Laverne. And Laverne offense has to give it right back to Redlands. Boucher here to punt it away for the Leopards. Fake punt. Boucher trying to turn the corner, trying to get a first down, but he is tackled at his ankles at around the Laverne 30-yard line. And Redlands will have great field position to possibly put this game on ice with a 3-touchdown lead with 9:45 to go in the third quarter if they could score here.
I mean, obviously that's one of those plays. If he breaks it for a first down, coach looks real good there, but here, see Boucher sees that open field, but a great job by holding contain right there. Number 45 coming up and making the play, Blake Torgerson.
Jake Torreson with the stop there now. You don't blame Coach Creek there to go for the punt, go for the fake punt. Last year in the playoff game against the University of St. Thomas, they ran 2 fake punt plays against the Tommies in the playoff game, and they both worked to perfection. However, it didn't work that time. So here comes Kidd taking himself to try to turn the corner and does beat out a couple defenders, and he does dive into the end zone for the score. Wow, one play just does the trick for them. Kidd takes it himself all the way for about 30-yard quarterback run. And now they lead 35-14 with 9.5 to go here in the third quarter.
Joseph, hindsight's always 20/20, but you look right there, give them the ball deep in their zone. They go to a QB keeper there around the edge, and he takes it to the house.
The Redlands sideline is pumped up after that play. Understand their excitement is very, you don't see that every day, a quarterback taking himself for running 30 yards for the score. Here's Ray here to attempt the point after for the Bulldogs. Snap is good, hold is good, and the point after attempt is also good.
And Kidd, not regarded as a guy that will pick up and run either, so showing some great vision there to get upfield and miss a couple tackles and get into the end zone.
So what's once a one-possession game at the start of the half, now it's quickly turned around to a 3-possession game in favor of Redlands. With 9 minutes and 37 seconds to go, they lead Laverne 36-14. As you see, Kidd fooling the Leopards defense, just using his speed and just finding his way, outrunning a couple of defenders there and finding his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
It was Bryce Broadwell, the 6'2" running back, who was his lead blocker there. He tried to fake the counter right there to the running back. And Andrew Ghetto kept it, went around the edge, followed that lead blocker, and he went to the house.
It is a 3-touchdown game, but don't underestimate this Laverne offense. We've seen them break into spurts before. Just as the second quarter was coming to an end, they scored 14 points in just within 5 minutes of each other. So it'll be interesting to see how they take it. Broders will now take it out of the end zone here. Has some room up the right, trying to use his speed to his advantage. Gets across the 25-yard line to around the 26, 27. That's where Laverne will take over.
Joseph, that's just one of those plays right there. Yes, you're in your end zone. Might be an obvious kneel play, but you got to find some sort of a spark to this offense right now. Redlands has simply come out and set the tone here in the second half.
Broders was talking to me earlier this week, telling me that before he wasn't that used to pick, even though he has great speed, wasn't used for kickoff returns primarily, but taking his advantage this year in his senior year. Hands it out to Parent here for the first drive. Does Z-Tom. Short gain on the play, maybe gain of 2 yards. Be 2nd and 8 coming up for Laverne.
Parent only 14 yards on the ground today, Joseph. He's got to bust one here.
Hand out to Parent again. Parent tries to find his way up the right side, but he is stopped for a short gain. Will be about 3rd and 5 coming up for Laverne. So Parent being stuffed on back-to-back running plays drawn to him. So we'll see if Laverne and G-Town will try to make a pass play to the air. Look for Ariana here for a quick short pass to him, and he tries to make something happen up the field. G-Town looks to his right. Does find Ariana, does create a spin move and does get enough yards. It seems close to a first down. And they will move those chains. So just as I anticipate, a quick pass to Ariana to the right on the far sideline, and he gets enough just for the first down.
Ariano, he's been their guy all season long. That's 7 catches now for more than 120 yards.
So 1st and 10, ball being marked at the Laverne 41-yard line. So handoff to Parent. Parent tries to force his way up the right side. Still on his feet. Being now pushed by the Laverne offensive line. Great carry by Parent. They're a gain of about 10 yards. It will be enough for a Leopards first down.
Joseph, small but mighty, they call him there. Christian McCaffrey at that. And Dallas Parent, this is a guy third in the country in rushing, the guy that does not stop his feet. You saw it there. This was an unrecruited guy out of high school down in Long Beach, and now he's come here and absolutely made a name for himself.
So 1st and 10 for the Leopards. Ball marked at around midfield. Handed off to Parent again. Parent trying to force his way up the right side. He is greeted by the Redlands defensive line. Good job by the Redlands defense as they're ready for that play. Short gain, if any at all, for Parent. Be 2nd down for the Leopards.
Seeing the Leopards here lean heavily on Dallas Parent. They're keeping them on the field every chance they get and just saying, you know what? You had your minimal amount of touches in the first half. Now it's go time.
They'll give Parent a credit of 1 yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 coming up for Laverne. See Tom in the shotgun. This one pass, looks to his left, now looks to his right. He is brought in the backfield, brought down for a sack. That is number 90 on the play for Redlands. That is Tristan Corwin, the big defensive lineman, 6'1" junior out of Wildomar, California. Went to Elsinore High School for the sack, and he has a little bit of swagger after that sack. Loss of about 6 yards in the play. It'll be 3rd and 15 coming up for Laverne.
Game being won in the trenches right now. Redlands winning the battle, stopping the run and getting up on the passer.
It's a pass, short, quick pass to the right side. Thrown underneath, and it'll be incomplete pass. Intended receiver on the play for the Leopard with number 87, Jelani Garnett. Howard pass was low, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. The Leopards will have to punt. So far, the offense not clicking here in the second half for Laverne, like it was in the second quarter. As you mentioned, how defensive line for Redlands winning the battle and forcing the issue against Laverne. Punt will be taken at around the 14-yard line. Great tackle there by the special teams player for Laverne. That is number 26, Michael Medina, running back playing special teams with a nice shoelace tackle there. Bring the return down, and the Redlands will have to take over from their own 18-yard line.
Hopefully we can get a replay there from beginning of end of that play, because Medina breaking free on the gunman there out on the flanks, got off of the blocker and got downfield and just made the tackle.
So here's Shrev back in quarterback for the Bulldogs, number 13. Quick pass out. This will be Blackburn taking himself, turning the corner, has some room down the sideline. Still on his feet, cuts back down the middle field. Finally tackled from behind, find Brown. Good job there by Austin Brown to chase Blackburn from behind, but not before a big gain for the Bulldogs. Will be a 1st down for Redlands in Laverne territory.
And Joseph, this is something that doesn't show up on a box score. Austin Brown, a nose tackle, and this guy makes a tackle 40 yards down the field.
Here's Shrev here, waiting the call from the sideline.
Blackburn well over 150 yards receiving today.
Having himself a nice day for the Bulldogs. Shrev takes a snap, fakes handoff, now looks to throw over the top. Fade route in and out of the hands of the intended receiver on the play. Number 80, Christian Guzman, the intended target there. 2nd down coming up for the Bulldogs.
Not a bad ball by Shrev, going outside shoulder there on the fade route. Simply got to haul that in.
2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball marked at the Laverne 39-yard line. Handoff, but the Laverne defensive line was ready for that one. Big 93 for the Leopards. Making the tackle, that is Michael Ponce, the big freshman for the Leopards. 6'1" out of San Bernardino, California, with the stop.
Alvera there seeing his first action of a run play there today. Stuffed. 3rd down for Laverne. Big play, Joseph. 3rd and 11.
3rd and 12.
The money down defensively for the Leopards. Big signs hold up on the Leopard sideline there with the dollar sign and down right below it. Here's Shrev in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Now rolls to his left. Gonna take it himself. Has some room up the field. Gets brought down hard for a big play, but stops short of the first down before down coming up. Ball is being marked at the Laverne 31-yard line. See Shrev faking the handoff. And then rolls out to the left, had some running room, but got brought down hard.
Joseph, clean play there. You saw Shrev lower the shoulder. And when they say that a quarterback gets out in space, make him pay for it, just like Redlands made Josh Evans.
Shrev will be brought down in the backfield for a sack and a big turnover on down there for the Leopards. Big number 54, Alexander Martinez with the stop to go along with a couple of his other teammates, forcing the turnover on down, so Laverne will take over at pretty decent field position. You see that Laverne bringing the heat on this fourth down attempt, and they weren't ready for it. Martinez with the big sack, and Laverne will take over at around their 40. So unsportsmanlike
Laverne's
conduct.
ball, first down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bulldogs there. Tack on Laverne 15 more yards. Now they'll start this possession in Redlands territory. Good field possession, but they need a touchdown here in order to get back into this game.
They do, Joseph. That was a big fourth down play. Get upfield, make the sack, aided by another 15-yard penalty on an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But Zach Tomlinson's got to find his poise, and they've got to give him time to drop back and throw downfield to Ariano and some of his other good targets.
Z-Tom lined up in the shotgun to start off this drive. Fullback Fernandez now in the game. We'll see delay here, change of footballs. 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the third quarter. Laverne will start this drive at around the Redlands 45-yard line. Z-Tom under center. Positions indicating a run, and they do hand it off to Fernandez using his big body, still on his feet, carrying the ball, carrying the Redlands defender for a big gain of about 15 yards on a first down for the Leos.
Fernandez giving you a bunch of yards after contact there. Now Laverne in the hurry up.
He is fired up again, and based on his attitude, he's telling Z-Tom to give me the ball. I'll carry it down the field. Hand it to him again, but this time the Redlands defense was ready for it. Can't avoid those defenders that time. Gets it, barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. If that, it'll be second down coming up for Laverne.
Z-Tom there trying to go out and play a bit of a decoy and go play action there, but they run all the way to Redlands. They stacked the box and got up in on Fernandez, who's trying to get himself the ball and get a couple more yards.
So 2nd and 10 coming up for the Leopards. Fernandez in the backfield with Z-Tom. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Ariano in the slot. Quick pass to the left side, intended for number 87, that is Jelani Garnett. With the catch, short catch though for about 3 to 4 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up. Ball being placed at the Redlands 24-yard line.
Joseph, that 3 yards plays such a big role here on what you call on third down now. Instead of going to just deep routes, you can do crossing routes across the middle.
Bad snap, goes behind Z-Tom. Z-Tom tries to get under it, and it's recovered by Redlands on midfield. So huge turnover there. Laverne had an opportunity to possibly get up some points and try to get some momentum going back into this game. Z-Tom is down, shaken up, but he does find a way back up. Frustrated. There were some shaky snaps throughout this game, and that time it backfired on Laverne. Z-Tom couldn't get that one. Big turnover, fumble. See, the snap was wide.
Straight over the head.
And recovered by Redlands at around midfield. So a huge missed opportunity there for Laverne. Got great field position to start off that drive.
That's just an absolute momentum killer, Joseph. You get down into their territory, feeling like, okay, we can put some points up on the board here, and now getting into the later part of the game. A win taken out of your sail. We'll see how Laverne responds.
Handoff to the senior running back this time. That is number 16. Josiah Alvira running the ball. gain of about 9 yards. Now play will be second and short coming up for Redlands. So second and 1. Ball being marked at around Laverne 35-yard line. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go and counting here. Quick pass to the left side for Blackburn. Blackburn gets it, fumbles the ball, but jumps, has the awareness of mind to jump right back on it. Blackburn redeeming himself and jumping the ball right back on it. Could have been another turnover there within a span of a minute between both teams. But Blackburn having the awareness to jump on the ball be a first down for Redlands.
Joseph, that's what Redlands has done well all day long, is ball security. They haven't given up turnovers, no interceptions downfield, so they've simply taken care of the ball. That's why you see yourself a 21-point lead if you're Redlands.
2 minutes to go and counting down in the third quarter, excuse me. And you see Blackburn trying to make something happen, loses the ball, but gets it right back. Now here's a kick back to Avila. Avila tries to make something happen down the right side, but he was greeted by a couple of Laverne defenders there for the tackle. Short gain on the play, gain of about maybe 2 to 3 yards on the carry. It will be a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up for Redlands. Minute and 30 to go now in the third quarter. Shrev, the quarterback for the Bulldogs. 2 quarterback systems so far today hasn't backfired on Redlands.
Time certainly not the friend for Laverne here today, and you see Redlands now taking their time. The clock now down near 1 minute left in the third.
Redlands using all that playing clock, handing off to Avila again, but he is met up by a Laverne linebacker for the big hit.
Connor Truitt.
Connor Truitt with the big stop there. Will be 3rd and 5 coming up for Redlands.
Truitt coming up and making a big fill right there. Head up, straight into the numbers. Good wrap up.
So 3rd and 5 here. Laverne needs to stop. Trev looking to the sideline for the play call from his coaches. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. They're looking to juice the play clock all the way down. We'll snap it at around 3 seconds. Almost time. The play clock's almost ended. To get it off just in time. He takes a big hit. Does Trev. Takes a huge hit from Connor Truitt, and Trev just throws it over his intended receiver and into the sideline for an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down coming up with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And it was just a blitz by Connor Truitt off the end there. I think Shrev felt it, got rid of the ball while he could, just threw it up and hoped that one of his receivers would come down to it. But Connor Truitt unblocked, going at the quarterback for the 2nd time here today and laying him out.
Ball 4th and 5 coming up for Redlands. Ball is marked at around the 35-yard line. Kind of in no man's land here. Got to go for it. Take it back. Here comes Truitt again. Taking a sack, and Shrev can't avoid. Actually does get it to Blackburn at the last possible second. What a play there by Shrev to get the pass off. It would be good enough for a Redlands 1st down. What a play there by Shrev to get off at the last possible second. Great awareness by Blackburn to keep his composure, make the catch, turn around, and get the yardage for the 1st down.
Look at this escapability of Shrev right here. Simply says, I'm going to do what I can, dumps off the ball and lets his receiver do the rest. They end up picking up the 1st down. They're on the move.
Ball is marked inside the 25-yard line of Laverne, and it'll be at the end of the third quarter. So at the end of 3 at Ormeyer Stadium, the score, University of Redlands 36, University of Laverne 14. You're watching Skyac Football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. So what a change of momentum in the third quarter there. Laverne had some momentum towards the end of the half, cutting the 22-0 lead of Redlands, cutting it down to 22-14, but an interception to end the half and to go along with a bad couple of offensive possessions to start the third quarter for Laverne. Redlands takes full advantage of all those mistakes, and they extend their lead to 36-14, back to a 22-point advantage for Redlands.
Joseph, let's give credit to where credit's due. Redlands simply come to play the day. They've committed to stopping the run and forcing turnovers. They've played fundamental football, and they simply have a scoreboard up there that can show for it.
Yes, indeed. Redlands playing good style of football, but it's hard to not to shed light on the Laverne mistakes. You have a couple of bad offensive possessions going on with a bad snap after Laverne got a great field position off the turnover on downs. And to include a personal foul penalty against Redlands, set up Laverne greatly to possibly cut this game back into a 2-possession game. However, poor defense, a bad snap, really changed the momentum of that quarter. And now Redlands is knocking on the door, 1st and 10 at the ball at the 20-yard line of Laverne.
Joseph can't help but think about that snap just going over the head of Tomlinson, which had a shot at a first down in Redlands zone. Laverne poised to make points up on the board.
Trev fakes a handoff, rolls out to his right. Josh Hardy there, bringing the heat. Actually, that's Connor Truitt there to go along with Hardy, bringing heat to Trev. Trev just throws it away. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Being pressured by Butcher and Hardy.
2nd and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. A lot of confusion there at the line of scrimmage for Redlands. They'll be marked off for a false start.
Snap infraction, number 50, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
5-yard penalty, ball will be marked at the 25-yard line of Laverne. More specifically, a snap infraction. Never heard that call before. But you learn something new every day. And it'll be 2nd and 15 now for the Bulldogs. Trev hands it off to his running back. Avilo has some room up the field, gains of about 6 yards on the play, gets back the penalty yard and then some. So it'll be 3rd and 8 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Haven't seen Andrew Ghetto at all or Appleton here in the latter part of the game.
Big 3rd down play here. Hand it off to Avilo, the running back, and it's brought down at around the 15-yard line. Brought down there by big number 95 for the Leopard, Cameron Graham with the stop. Before down and about 4 yards for Redlands.
Redlands going to take a timeout here. If they kick the field goal, ball on the 14, that's a 31-yarder.
Well, if they do attempt a field goal, that will make it. That will be a 39-14 advantage for the Bulldogs. They're giving a 4-possession point advantage for them, and could possibly just put the game on ice with about 14 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
If you're looking at this for the sake of Laverne, you can simply not let Redlands score here if you want a shot at this game. Not for the sake of not being able to put up points, but for the sake of time not being your friend at this point.
Yeah, Redlands doing a good job here in the second half, controlling the time of possession and just simply keeping the Leopard offense off the field. And whenever the Leopard's offense on the field, the defense is stepping up and making quick possessions for Laverne, forcing 3 and outs time and time again. So Redlands will set up for the field goal. Will be about a 31-yard attempt for their kicker, Alex Raya. He missed a field goal earlier, so we'll see how he does this time. Hold is good, snap is good. The kick is just sneaks into the upright for 3 points. So with 14 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, Laverne has an uphill mountain to climb and then some. The score, University of Redlands 39, University of Laverne 14. You're watching Skyhawk Football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. So Redlands just doing what they had to do on that drive, not making any mistakes there, just keeping it poised, not sugarcoating anything, just moving the ball down the field enough into field goal range and taking the points, and now a 25-point advantage for the Bulldogs.
At the end of the day, Joseph, I think it's a smart call by the Redlands offensive coordinator there to just extend this to a 4-possession game by taking the field goal and points.
Bulldogs will kick off here from their own 35-yard line. Back to return is Brodas and Klein for the Leopards.
Kicking off.
It will be Brodus. Kind of a short kick, taking it from the 12-yard line. Tries to move his way downfield. Does a spin move and gets his way across the 30-yard line to about the 31-yard line, excuse me. And that's where the Laverne offense will start here with 14 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Be Tomlinson again coming out with Dallas Parent.
So you have to assume, based on the last touchdown drive for Laverne, which came midway through the second quarter, that Evans was probably knocked down with concussion. He took a big hit from the Redlands linebacker on that drive, and he hasn't seen the field since that possession. So here's Z-Tom with Perrin in the backfield. Drops back. Ball batted down there by number 91 of the Bulldogs. Big 91 on the play, putting his arm up there. Trevor Raras with the breakdown. And after he knocked the ball down, gave a little Mutombo action to Z-Tom, like not on my watch. Be 2nd 10 coming up for the Leopards. Tomlinson hands it off to Parent. Parent wiggles his way upfield for a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Short gain. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up for the Leopards.
Leopards have got to do better on 3rd down. We've talked about it on defense today, but offense, it's been an Achilles heel for them as well. Has been a couple times where they've gotten some 3 and outs and really kind of taken the wind out of their sail. They pick up 1st downs. This Leopards team can get on the move. They go to the hurry-up offense, and they'll go.
Keep an eye out for Ariano. He's lined up here on the near side of your screen. Z-Tom looks that way first, hands it off, passes it underneath. Short gain on the play, gain of about maybe 3 yards, well short of the 1st down.
You got to go for it, honestly, if you're Laverne.
Yeah, if you have any chance of coming back into this game, you have to go for it and get 6 points to cut into this big Redlands lead here. Z-Tom waiting the call from the sideline. Has 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right, does Z-Tom. 4th and 3 coming up. Looking to his left, hands it off to pass it to Ariani. Ariano is going to be stopped just short of the 1st down. And looks like it'll be a turnover on downs. The Redlands will take over with good field position.
And Joseph, that was the play that Laverne needed to get going. And now here, backed up into their own zone yet again. And they've got to come up with the turnover somehow, some way.
You got to imagine Redlands will probably not even drop any passing plays here. Just drop 3 running plays, possibly 4, given their length of the field. If they don't get the 1st down after 3 plays. And just kill some clock with 12 minutes, 31 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Here's Mitch Kidd into the game with Jacob Guglielma. Hand off to Guglielma, and he takes it up the middle for like about 2 yards on the gain. Be 2nd and 8 coming up, but that clock, the Achilles here for the Leopards right now because it's 12 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the game and counting. Quick hard count there, tries to draw Leopards offside. They jump back just in time. Redlands just killing that play clock down. 17 seconds on the play clock and counting down. Probably kill this to around 3 to 2 seconds on the play clock to get the snap away. Instead they snap it earlier than that. Hands it off to Guglielma again. Be 3rd down coming up. And 5 yards. The ball is being spotted at the 34-yard line. They'll need to get to the Laverne 29 or 30. 3rd and 4 coming up for Redlands. Clock's just still counting down. Redlands taking their time. Kid drops back. Fade route to the corner. And almost with a spectacular one-handed catch there. The intended receiver on the play is number 83, Kyle Kayberry. Unable to come up with the big reception. Be 4th down coming up. for the Bulldogs.
For Laverne, they're a better third down play and better coverage downfield. Instead of recognizing that you're beat, trying to battle through that coverage and fight back instead of getting that PI called downfield on you.
Fourth down, Kid dropping back to his right, looking for the short pass, and does give it to Blackburn, who gets the yardage for the first down. Redlands keeps possession and move the chains, 1st and 10.
Joseph, it's really interesting. You know, you look at these two teams. This is bigger than just football to them. This is one of the biggest rivalries across Skyac, and it had been Laverne who had gotten beaten 19 years in a row up until last year by the Redlands Bulldogs. So a bit of a chip on their shoulder for Laverne coming in, and the Bulldogs just simply saying, we're not going to allow this. Kind of something deeper into this. The head strength and conditioning coach here at the University of Laverne was the educator of that of Joe Buckley, who's the strength and conditioning coach of the Redlands Bulldogs.
Hand it out to Guglielmo. He has plenty of room to run and will just run his way into the end zone for the score. 26 yards on the carry for Guglielmo to put this game on ice, and it's all but over now, Hal.
It's tough for Laverne. You know, you look at a tough loss a couple weeks ago, or rather just last week on the road at Cal Lutheran. Laverne coming back for their second home game of the year, their first Skyac game of the year at home, and simply not the showing they would like. They've got their starting quarterback nicked up on the bench. Dallas Parent doesn't seem to be himself either. It's back to the drawing board for Laverne. Will have their homecoming game next week against Occidental.
And that homecoming game next week will be broadcasted here on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television, and live online on leopardathletics.com. Here's Ryan with the extra point attempt. Puts it through the upright, and it's turning into a route here at Ormeyer Stadium with the score. University of Redlands, 46. University of Laverne, 14. 10 minutes and 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You're watching Skyac football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. So as you mentioned, as you see, Guglielmo just evading a couple defenders and just running his way to the end zone, almost untouched there, 26 yards. Very frustrating game for the Leopards. Talking to a lot of the players this week, they were really excited about this one. First conference home game of the year. They had themselves a nice practice based on what the players told me. Nice week of practice so far.
Joseph, you look, Laverne's strength this year, more than 280 yards on the ground, 85 yards today. And you look at that of the Redlands Bulldogs, pushing 300 yards now on the ground.
Definitely a battle are won and lost in the trenches in the game of football, and the Redlands, both offensive and defensive lines, having their way against Laverne. And so far it's been proven to be the difference. Here's Brodas on the return. Brings it up just across the 25-yard line. And it looks like going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty against Redlands, after being very excited after that tackle on special teams. We'll wait the call from the head official. Quickie there, the tackle for the Bulldogs.
15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
So it will be a 15-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. Leopard will take over at their own 40-yard line to start off this drive. Here with 10 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Tough for Laverne here today. 6.1 yards per rush as a team this season. Today, 2.7.
Here's Z-Tom with a pass down the field. Has his receiver down the far sideline. Still on his feet.
Ezra Brodus.
Big gain on the play. Brodus with the catch. Now the biggest pass play one of the biggest pass plays besides Ardiano's touchdown in the second quarter so far for Laverne. Here's Z-Tom avoiding the sack and just running upfield, trying to salvage some yardage here. And does get a nice chunk of yardage there on that carry for about maybe 7 or 8 yards. We second down and short coming up for the Leopards.
Good composure there by Tomlinson. He steps up in the pocket, shows good feet, and then he's able to break free, get positive yardage on the play. Now it's 2nd and 5.
The Laverne going no huddle here. Now passes it to the right again. Gets his receiver. Ball appears to be out of bounds. Actually, isn't Ezra Brodas. That's number 16 for the Leopards on the play. Making the catch. That's Dejan Logan. Hand out to Fernandez. Fernandez tries to turn the corner on the right side. Gets a short gain. It was third down on that play, but this yardage by Fernandez is good enough for a Leopards first down.
You can kind of see the Leopards sidelines from here, Joseph. Yes, they're down in the red zone, and yes, they're working their way towards touchdown, but they know it's going to take much more than that. It's not to get too excited yet. You got work to do.
Z-Tom now will be met in the backfield for the big loss and the sack. Big number 55 there for the Bulldogs. Giving the sack, that is number 55, and Brian Keiser. Out of Medford, New Jersey, the senior defensive lineman gained the sack. So, second and long coming up for the Leopards. 8 minutes and 40 to go in the fourth quarter. And Z-Tom will be met up in the backfield again for another sack. And this Redlands defensive line is having their way here, and then some in the fourth quarter on this drive for these last two plays.
6 sacks, 6 tackles for a loss here today, Joseph. The D-line of Redlands simply getting the job done.
Here we have about third and a mile, maybe more or less third and 20, 21 coming up for Laverne. Z-Tom will drop back to pass. Throws it deep to his right, corner route, and great defense there, broken up at the last second. Pass was intended there for the Leopards, number 87, Jelani Garnett.
The defensive back, Aaron Mandel, in and on the coverage.
So it'll be fourth down, kind of no man's down here. Laverne will obviously just go for it, try to salvage some points here, and maybe even try to build some momentum going into next week for the homecoming game against Occidental with his offense. Here's Z-Tom. Avoids the sack and decides just to take it himself, but we stopped well short of the first down. Nice game brought down by a group of Redlands defenders. There'll be a turnover and downs, and that's where Redlands will take over with 7 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, with the Bulldogs up 46-14 over the Leopards. You're watching LVTV. You're watching Skyac football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
And you looked at today's game, Joseph. You figured this game might be won not only in the trenches but down in the red zone. Both these teams first and second, respectively, in Skyac this year in red zone percentage. The Bulldogs had converted on 11 of 14 opportunities this year. And the Leopards were 7 of 10. 6 of Laverne's scores were touchdown, and Redlands punched in 8. They've gotten the job done both on deep plays and in the red zones here today.
Here, kid back under center for the Bulldogs. Hands it off to his running back, but gets met up by a trio of Leopards defenders for a short gain, if any, be second down coming up. And with this, LVTV would like to thank Warehouse Pizza and Old Town Laverne for providing the crew food for today's game. Thank you, Kenny and Warehouse Pizza. So second down and 10 coming up for the Bulldogs. And it's just taking their time here, letting that clock and play clock tick. Fake the throw and just hands it off, does Kid to his running back. Number 8, Connor Kennedy, rushing on that play.
Austin Brown, 13 tackles here today, Joseph. One of the bright spots in this Laverne defense, 9 of those solo.
Be third and about 8 yards to go coming up for the Bulldogs.
And Austin Brown, big part of today's game, but we talked about Darren Hooks earlier in today's telecast. He was a guy put up 11 tackles last year against Redlands. He's got 8 today, playing a great game as well.
Here's a pass intended and almost intercepted. Pass intended for Caleberry, number 83 of the Bulldogs. How he couldn't come down with that one.
Kind of a story of today's game. Get a ball that's tipped. It's happened a couple times now, but Redlands unable or rather able to get away without any interception coming down with on the Leopard side of the ball.
Redlands punt here today. Haven't seen the punting unit out for the Bulldogs too much in this contest today. Back to return for the Leopards is number 2, Dallas Parent. Here comes the Australian-style rugby punt. Short kick, bounces, takes a Redlands favorable bounce, and it will bounce inside the Laverne 40 down at the 39-yard line. So that's where the Leopards will take over with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter, with the University of Redlands leading University of Laverne 46-14.
Certainly playing for a bit of pride at this point. If you're Laverne, Joseph, don't want to get kicked in the teeth here on your home turf, let alone against a rival like Redlands. Look for them to keep coming after Redlands here in the latter part of this game.
And as I mentioned earlier, not just to just salvage some points here and get some momentum for the end of this game, but also heading into next week for the homecoming game against Occidental College. Game will be at 5 p.m. kickoff time here at Ortmeyer Stadium. Here's a pass. Tomlinson trying to make a quick pass, but it's deflected at the line of scrimmage by a Redlands defensive lineman. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
Number 52, Marcus Singh.
Second and 10. Ball at the 39-yard line. Hand off to Parent. Tries to find his way upfield, but he has nothing going for him. Actually will be tackled for a loss of 2 yards on the play. Third down and about 12 coming up for the Leopards.
Run game stout here to stop the run for Redlands today. Able to get upfield, put some pressure on the quarterback, whether he's passing or just stop the runs through the gaps.
Yeah, and nothing against quarterback Tomlinson here for the Leopards, but Evans going down there towards the end of the first half ended up being a big blow to Laverne. So here's Z-Tom rolling out to his left, tries to pass away, finds the attended receiver Ariano.
Certainly not for the sake of Tomlinson not being capable, but it changes your whole game plan, Joseph. You come in anticipating Josh Evans going to be your guy, tailor your whole game plan to him. Now they're going to say Ariano was pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, they're saying he was pushed out of bounds, so it'll be an incomplete pass. And it'll be 4th down coming up for the Leopards. They're still arguing on the sideline. We'll see what the final call is. A lot of discussion back and forth between the officials.
It'd be tough to call this not a completion after it was initially called a completion on the field.
But the referee does overturn the call, so it'll be 4th down and about 11 yards to go. Laverne offense obviously going for it.
Good looking play by Tomlinson though. Bootleg out to the left, thrown across his body. Let's see how close we can get this here. Good ball. I don't know, Joseph.
That was a bang play.
Yep.
Kind of hard to overturn it after it was initially called a catch. Laverne was about to go for it, but instead they bring out the punting unit. Play clock almost ran down for a delay of game, and instead Laverne called a timeout.
Following today's game,
timeout called, but the clock is still running. Now it stops with 5 minutes and 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Laverne trailing Redlands by 32 points, 46-14.
Joseph, tonight going down in the 10th, Laverne volleyball going to be playing at 7 o'clock against Muhlenberg in the Laverne and Leopard Invitational, we should say. They're 2-0 thus far, and they look pretty good.
Will you be calling that game as well, Hal?
I won't be in the booth for that, but this morning, Laverne was able to get a clean sweep of Lynchburg, a school out of Virginia. Lynchburg Hornets came in, and Laverne simply looked good.
Yeah, Laverne riding now a 4-game winning streak after that. Riding that 4-game winning streak after that big win. Laverne volleyball over California Lutheran last Friday night, beating the number 4 team in the nation here at the 10th at the campus of the University of Laverne.
LVTV had that call. You and Randy Toomey sounded good there in the booth, Joseph. What a great way for Laverne to put an exclamation point on Sky. Play 6-2 now. That's good enough tie for second.
And they will sure love to improve on that record. I see Z-Town trying to make something happen. Avoids the defender and tries to force it, and is almost intercepted. Will be a turnover on downs. And we have a Laverne lineman here behind the plate, nicked up just a little bit, but he gets up back on his feet. That's number 68 for the Leopards, being nicked up a little bit, but finds his way to bring enough strength to gather himself and bring himself back to the sideline. Number 68, Tarani Thomas, the offensive lineman, actually out of Northeast Los Angeles, sophomore player out of Eagle Rock High School. From around my stomping grounds back in the day. I grew up in Northeast Los Angeles, born and raised. So here we go, 1st and 10. For the Bulldogs, handing off to the running back. She has a gain of about 3 yards in the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming up for the Bulldogs.
New quarterback in for Redlands here on this drive.
New quarterback indeed, number 14, Matt.
Good luck saying
Adam
that.
Adam Kiewicz.
I'll go with that.
Adam Kiewicz.
Kiewicz this season, he's got -7 yards passing.
1 for 2 overall in the year.
Gotta imagine that was kind of a screen pass out of the backfield for a loss. Nothing against his stats.
It's another quick pass. That will bring up those passing yards. Gain of about 8 yards in the play. So now he's in positive net yardage on the year. And that pass was good enough for a 1st down.
Hauled in by number 39, Zach Verspor. 6'3" junior coming out of Lexington High School in Mansfield, Ohio.
Ball being spotted at around the 24-yard line. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 4th quarter and counting. Here's the handoff to the running back. Gain of about 5 yards on the play. The 2nd and 5 coming up for Redlands. So you assume that they'll just be running short passing games and running plays from here on out just to kill this clock.
No reason to risk anything, Joseph. You know, you're up big. Made your statement 46-14 here. Getting in kind of your 2nd unit now to get them some reps. Go through the fundamentals, you know, some good blocking up front. Run down the clock. 3:38 now left.
Yeah, Laverne's schedule certainly was proven test early, and they've had their money's worth against both Kalu and Redlands. Here's the handoff to number 4, Noah Magana. Carry about 1 yard on the play. Will be 3rd and 4 coming up for the Bulldogs.
And we look how this shapes up Skyac. If Redlands goes on to win, they'll put them at the top of Skyac 2-0. Still much to play. 5 more games through Laverne. They can look ahead next week to Occidental at home. Homecoming, you mentioned that. But they have a different animal in that. Brian Scott, one of the all-time leaders in passing in Skyac history, going to be in the house for Occidental.
Yeah, a lot of old former players and alumni showing up. Next week's homecoming, Laverne's 125 year under an academic schedule. 125th year of the school. She'll be a great homecoming. We have plenty of ceremonies to go on next week. Players return. We have a Laverne defensive lineman down. Can't tell who it is on the play, but he is down. We'll be 4th down coming up.
Arms are stiff, Joseph.
That could be a scary incident here. The game's well out of reach. You don't want to see any players go down with injury. Never at any time at all. But especially in a game like today when the game's just about wrapped up with the 4th quarter, about 2.5 minutes to go. You hate to see injuries like this to any team. Laverne medical staff attending to him.
Good to see the respect. Redlands playing over here on the sidelines, taking a kneel, and you see Redlands medical staff as well coming out onto the field.
So far, the injured Leopard on the play hasn't moved. Looks to be responsive. They seem to be talking to him, which is a good sign. Finally has some movement to his lower legs. Somber moment here. What's been a pretty good afternoon, especially if you're a player and fan of Redlands here. of the
And Joseph,
Bulldogs.
this is something near and dear to my heart, too. I mean, suffering from spinal cord injury for 9 years now, you see this out on the field. And I kind of know what goes through my head initially when my accident happened. It's kind of one of those moments, takes the breath out of you, literally and physically. And you see this happen before your eyes. Any spectator watching, it's just kind of a pit in your stomach. One can only hope he's going to be all right. Looks like he's coming to his feet now. That's great to see.
Yeah, he is sitting upright, which is a great sign. Hard to tell a number from this play. I'll try to see what I could salvage here. Appears to be
Injured Leo is Sharon Cyrus.
Sharon Cyrus, the injured Leo, number 67, senior defensive lineman, 6'4", out of Monrovia, California, attended Montclair High School, local product here from the San Gabriel Valley. And he appears to have motion in his lower legs, which is a good sign.
Walking off on his own power, assisted, yes, but putting some weight into those legs. Here's a replay here. Watch his body go stiff at the end of this play. Oh, that was his teammate coming in. Helmet to helmet right there at the end.
So here's Alex Rea, 4th down. Be about 35-yard field goal attempt. 1 for 2 today on field goals. Missed one in the first half. Pretty high snap, but able to gather himself, and Raya hits it true from 35 yards. So with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, Redlands all over the University of Laverne, leading the Leopards by a score of 49-14. You're watching Sky Football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. So game's all about wrapped up here. Redlands will kick off to Laverne. And again, as we mentioned a couple times already, homecoming is next week here for the Leopards. Leopards will take on Occidental College here at Ortmeyer Stadium, 5 p.m. That will be a broadcast on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television, and live online on leopardathletics.com. So we hope that you come and join us. Again, if you can't make it out here for homecoming, we'll be more than honored for you to watch online on LVTV3. Now for Redlands, after this game, they will host Chapman next week. Night game at 7 p.m. at the University of Redlands, so that should be a great matchup as well for them, as they will be 2-0 in conference, 3-1 overall in the regular season, and have a pretty favorable schedule. Coming in a tough game against Chapman and Claremont, but to their advantage, those games will be played at Redlands for the Bulldogs. And then we'll be on the road for a couple more games at Pitzer, then at Whittier. Then we'll wrap up the regular season against Cal-Lou on November 12th.
So it was Redlands who came into the house here today playing quarterback by committee. Really didn't seem to matter. Anything they threw out there seemed to produce positive yardage for them today.
Here's Brodos taking the kickoff off the bounce, but gets a short gain of about maybe 3 on the return. There, and Laverne will take over at their own 18-yard line with 2:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Z-Tom under center, back in the game. New running back also into the game
Making the last tackle.
for the Leopards, number 26, Michael Medina.
Medina's first action here of the season if he's able to get off a rush.
Defense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Illegal substitution penalty against the Bulldogs will give Leopards a gift of 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 5 now from the Laverne 23-yard line. Handoff to Medina, but he'll be stuffed in the backfield for a loss.
Michael Medina, the ball carrier.
Loss of a couple yards on the play. Ball's gonna be spotted at around the 20-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 8 coming up for the Leopards. Clock is still counting down here. 1:45 to go in the fourth quarter. And now to Medina again. Medina tries to have some positive yards. This time goes to make her way up the left side. That's a nice gain of about 8 yards on the play. It'll be enough for a Leopards first down.
Good job by Medina there, getting out around the edge, using that speed to get upfield and turn the corner. picks up a first down. Leopards on the move.
Ball is being marked at the 29-yard line of Laverne. Tomlinson lined up in the shotgun again. Hand it out to Medina again. Medina tries to turn the corner on the left side, avoids one tackler, gets past the line of scrimmage and then some. Nice job to salvage some yardage there. Maybe gain up about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 coming up.
And if you're Coach Creek, you got to be looking at some of these plays and seeing the effort that some of these guys are getting. You got to go back to the drawing board. You've lost 4 in a row to start the season. As far as I'm concerned, Joseph, any position should be up for grabs at this point.
Yes, indeed. At this point, got to admit the big role of Josh Evans probably most likely got knocked out of this game with a concussion. As you see Medina here gain the carry again. Nice carry up the field and still running down the far sideline. Gets plenty of yardage there for the first down. Nice gain of about 15 or 20 yards there. First down Leopards.
Medina coming back in for some more work. Guys rattled off 35 yards.
Here's a handoff again. Looks like they gave the ball off to Medina again. Has himself a nice little gain.
It's been the last play of the game here for Laverne.
Yeah, under 40 seconds on the play clock turned off. We have 30 seconds to go in the game.
Another running back coming in, Justin Manson for the Leopards.
Here's Manson running his way up the field, gaining some nice chunk of yardage there. Be enough for the first down. Clock stops at 20 seconds to go. Let's see if Laverne tries to end this game with the touchdown.
Probably air it out here, Joseph.
Have 3 receivers to the right. 2 receivers, excuse me. And 1 to the left. Stop at your play here. There is a penalty on the play. Flag is down.
Gotta think too many men on the field.
Officials still discussing.
Five-yard penalty. Replay second down. We will not have a 10-second runoff as Laverne has chosen to use a timeout.
So false start penalty, and Laverne will, after that penalty, will take a timeout. Be 1st and 15 here. Ball is being marked at around the 35-yard line of Redlands. Gotta imagine Thomason will air it out here to end the game and try to get a touchdown to his credit this afternoon. Eleven seconds to go. Redlands leading Laverne 49-14. Here's Tomlinson. Just hands it off to his running back. Trying to turn the corner there is Justin Manson. Stop short of the first down. That will do it. Clock hits 0-0, and that is your ball game. Final score: University of Redlands defeats University of Laverne 49-14. So Redlands got off to a great start this afternoon. Hal got 3 touchdowns early in the first quarter, but then Laverne fought back with 14 unanswered points. But then a couple of mistakes towards the end of the first half. Thomason with the critical interception towards the end of the first half. And to top it all off, in the second half, the Laverne offense not able to muster up anything, and Redlands winning taking advantage of those missed opportunities by Laverne and mistakes, and extending this lead, and it ended up being almost like a blowout here this afternoon.
Well, we knew Redlands could stop the run coming into today's game. They minimized that, only 90 yards, or rather now up around 145 after that last drive there. It's kind of some garbage minutes, if you will. But simply Redlands committing to stop the run today. So what you expected Laverne to come out and do was throw the ball downfield. They tried, nothing to show for it. And this was a team in Redlands who had given up 250 yards per game through the air prior to today's game. Laverne comes in 204 yards. Tomlinson, serviceable, gave up that pick at the end of the first half. Might have turned into points. One may never know. But it was Laverne, only 1 touchdown through the air. Ariano's big one at the beginning of the second quarter, and that was kind of the last big play that Laverne was really able to break off. Dallas Parent kind of non-existent in the offense today.
Yeah, definitely non-existent, but let's give credit to Redlands' defensive line and defensive front seven overall. They came in ready for Perrin. They knew what they had to do, especially after the injury that knocked Evans out of the game, which now you look in postgame, that ended up being huge and changed the whole dynamic of the offense for Laverne.
It absolutely did, because then Redlands knew, go after the quarterback, stack the box, and try and make Tomlinson move on his feet and make quick decisions. They had 5 sacks to show for it, 10 tackles for a loss, and it was Laverne ultimately. 2 big fumbles and an interception, 3 turnovers on the day for Laverne. Those played dividends. And
as you mentioned, after this loss, Laverne will have to go back on the drawing board. The defending SCIAC champions of 2015, the University of Laverne Leopards, are now in deep trouble, and will probably, with this loss, might be even out of the race, now considering that's pretty harsh to say 2 games into the conference season. But an 0-2 start, it's not great, especially in football with games so minimal and each game so crucial.
And Joseph, in such a short season, 7 conference game, Laverne well knows that they've got to win out to not only win conference, but to make a playoff. They're not going to get a bid with 4 losses, so they've got to take care of things, put matters in their own hands. 508 yards of total offense for Redlands today. Back to the drawing board for Chris Creek, but look for Laverne to come back with a vengeance on their homecoming night next week.
Redlands improves to 3-1 the year, 2-0 in conference. Laverne falls to 0-4, 0-2 in conference. We hope you join us next weekend for homecoming at 5 p.m. University of Laverne against University of Occidental College 1 week from today. On behalf of our crew, I'm Joseph Orozco signing off. You have been watching LVTV3 Laverne Community Television.